Two abandoned castles, but one holds a hidden secret, and I think I just found the door. In this episode, we explore the Sands Point Preserve, uncover the story behind these castles,
Oh my God.
and try to reveal what really happened here. Castle Gould was meant to be a love letter, 100,000 square feet, modeled after Kilkenny Castle in Ireland. It had everything, power, luxury, except for one thing. His wife hated it. The entire place rejected. It was never lived in. But today, it's not so empty anymore. So how does a rejected castle become a performance hall and a wedding venue? I needed to find out. So I met with Jeremiah from the Sands Point Conservancy. Oh, this place is incredible.
Yeah, right? It's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. How does something like this fail from the beginning?
Castle Gould, kind of as a love letter from Howard Gould to his young wife, Catherine Clemens, who is from Ireland. So he had the most renowned designers of the day recreate this castle in Ireland for her. She liked the castle, but she felt badly that it was not as close to the water as she would have liked.
So instead of fixing what they already did, they built this whole castle, 100,000 square feet. Instead of fixing that, they just said, oh, let's just build a new one.
Yes. And so then what happened was the Goulds' marriage unfortunately didn't last. Howard Gould then sold the property to Daniel and Florence Guggenheim. And this property has really been known as the Guggenheim Estate. Welcome to Hempstead House.
With over 40 rooms, a 60-foot tall entryway, I asked Jeremiah to show me around.
The entry foyer here, and these are 60-foot ceiling, goes up to the top with, That's the original chandelier that was here. All of this hand-carved woodwork, but this would be the grand entrance. Wow. So now we're moving into what's called the Palm Court, which has this marble sunken floor. Imagine back in the day, there were all of these plants, like exotic palms, and there were also birds that would fly freely in here. It was pretty wild. The room we're in now is the library, but throughout this house, what's really cool is the Guggenheims would travel through Europe in the 1920s and 1930s, and they would come across these different castles and mansions in Europe that were being torn down and decommissioned. They would purchase from those mansions some of the fixtures, have them shipped back here, and say to their architect, can you fit this into Hempstead House? So this mantelpiece, this is an antiquity from France. You can see the French, Dieve Montois, and it was fit in by their architect to fit perfectly. This is the billiard room. Look at the back of this door. This is all hand carved.
And this is original.
This is all original, and it's hundreds of years old. Now on the second floor where we're going, it's primarily the bedrooms, but there's really one room I want you to really see, which is called the breakfast room. And we're coming up on it here. And one of the things that's so special about it is the windows on 3 of the 4 walls. This is the breakfast room. Now the reason it was called the breakfast room is because the hallways up above there where the bedrooms are. So the Guggenheims and their guests, they'd be entertaining, would wake up in the morning, come down those stairs, come down here. They'd gather here, and this is where they'd be served breakfast.
But these elegant breakfasts were just the surface. A deeper story was unfolding.
The property was sold to the Department of Aeronautical Sciences, a division of the United States Navy. And this whole property, this was a secret Navy weapons testing facility and training devices. It was the National Training Device Center. So they would train guys on how to fire certain guns, how to fly planes with early flight simulation prototypes. And this wasn't just for a year or two. This was for 20 years, longer practically than the Guggenheims were here. And it's a relatively little known part, not just in the history of what is now the Sands Point Preserve, but in our nation's history. So we opened a museum dedicated to that 20-year period.
Next, we head down the basement to uncover even more.
This is all painted from when the Navy was here. And they splattered that green paint all over the place.
Wow.
And they have these little rooms, like see room 05 or 45. That all dates back to when the Navy was here, and every room had a different purpose. And
so
you know what this was for? This was
like
for
a cart? I don't know.
Yes, but what type of cart? It was
It's on a mine cart.
It was a coal cart because the furnace down here was all coal heated. So the cart would run on these tracks, fill it with, and they'd run all the way down to where the furnace is.
Now I learned something I wasn't expecting.
Oh my God. We have our Halloween event that's done, a haunted house, so that if you see it, literally see like a dismembered mannequin, don't get scared. I forgot to tell sometimes people when I'm showing it, I hear a scream from a woman who won't walk.
This is a perfect thing for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Today, the preserve thrives with a vibrant mix of outdoor festivals, educational programs, and community partnerships. 2 castles, one standing and one forgotten. What else is hiding at Sands Point Preserve? Maybe one day you'll find out for yourself.